Tennessee went and scheduled UAB 56-24. They get the win. They look dominant. Paul, when are we going to get into some – we'll get into next week in a minute, but when are we going to get into some really just good hardcore conference play? Like, I'm tired of these games where you know it's going to happen before kick.
Glad you asked that question, because this week we will. There are some really great SEC games this week, and when LSU Ole Miss is like the appetizer, you've got a good weekend. But last week felt like cupcake weekend in a way. It was just it was terrible.
Are you surprised by South Carolina? Are you surprised what happened in the Missouri version of Columbia last night?
Not after last week, but ultimately, if you go back 4 or 5 weeks, South Carolina fans and even other people were talking about them being a legitimate playoff team, not quite to the degree of another school in South Carolina in the upstate area, but and it's coming undone very quickly and for a lot of reasons. And again, you want to talk about schedules? Take a look at theirs. They haven't really. They're not exact. They haven't exactly played the meat of the schedule with Vanderbilt and Missouri.
And that was kind of a theme yesterday. And this is where we'll pivot to Clemson, because there were so many teams at the outset of the season. And look, my stance on preseason rankings. I think they're stupid and a waste of time. Clemson was a top 4 team. South Carolina was ranked high. I think they were 11th going into the season. There were a number of teams that were ranked high in the preseason that appeared to be on their way out of the conversation. And that conversation stops and starts with Dabo Swinney and Clemson. 1-3 for the first time since 2004. They lack zero punch. They can't get out of it. I can't remember the last time I saw a team that had so many returning stars come back and look like Clemson does after their loss to Syracuse.
And while some of these schools, Illinois being one, we built them up on hype. Clemson had legitimate players. That was not some manufactured situation. That was a great coach, great program, elite players on defense, either the best or second best quarterback in the country. And that's not according to pundits like me. That's according to people that study this stuff and make rankings for the NFL. So this is one of the hardest things to explain I've ever seen. When you look at the school, the first loss is understandable, but since then, there's simply no rhyme or reason. Now, I'm sure if you're sitting in the ACC office this morning in Charlotte, you're going, well, the reason is that the ACC is a very deep league. It is. No argument. But Clemson is your bell cow, and they can't even deal with the pedestrian schools in the league. And Syracuse is one of those. I was in Atlanta, 3 weeks ago, and saw what Tennessee did to Syracuse. It wasn't even a competitive game.
Would it shock you if I told you that, and first of all, with Dabo, the things that he's done for that program, historic and remarkable. National championships, built that thing into one of the elites. I don't know that he does himself any favors when he's doing what he does at the podium during the week, and then goes out and loses like that. I think he can stay there as long as he wants, or he can say, look, this thing's run its course. I'll do something else. But we watched them in studio, and EJ Manuel is with us now. He's an ACC guy, and even he's sitting there going, man, I can't explain it. I can't explain why they look the way that they do. And when you really get down to it, you just wonder how that can happen or where they went wrong.
There's a lot of reasons for this, but my advice to Dabo, and I know he doesn't like taking advice from people like me, is to get out of there. Be quiet, quit talking, because he has no credibility now with his fan base. They've heard the whines before. He's become a meme. He's become for a really good coach, and I do believe he's a really good coach. He's become somewhat of a laughingstock every time he opens his mouth. And it's time for him to do one of two things. It's either consider another school, and I think he is hireable. if he quits talking, or just get away from football and become a TV guy. He's very funny. He's very glib. He's got more credentials than any other non-TV coach out there. And what I mean by that is Saban's already got a job. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about of the people that could leave coaching and going to TV. He would be very coveted. Or find some place to go. There will be a lot of openings, and you can sit when you introduce Dabo Swinney. It's not bad. It's not a bad look. I mean, Jimbo Fisher has done pretty well with leaning on one national championship. Dabo has a much better resume, so I think it's I think it's over at Clemson. Let's quit trying to sugarcoat it, Matt. Sometimes it's very difficult to get it back when you've lost it. He lost it. He got it back. Now he's lost it again, and he's lost it badly, and it's time for him to go. Yeah,
because last year they started out shaky, and it was Tyler from Spartanburg that comes in, and from that, Clemson just quietly went on, won the ACC, went to the college football playoff, returned just about everybody. You're thinking, oh, here we go. They're going to be one of the best teams in the country, and that has just not been the case.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you.